Chris Roberts here for Fight Up TV. I'm here with Carl Frampton. How's things?
I'm not too bad, mate.
Yeah, good. Pretty nice response that you got there today. I don't think anyone was really expecting that. What did you make of it?
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I was speaking to Jamie Moore on the way over in the car and expecting some boos and stuff today, but that surprised me. But it was nice, you know what I mean? It shows that I'm respected here in Leeds amongst the boxing fans, and yeah, I think it'll be the same in Belfast tomorrow. There's a mutual respect between me and Josh, and I think it'll continue. It'll continue in Belfast.
I mean, you seem pretty relaxed. I think, you know, even particularly yesterday when I was watching the press conference, very, very relaxed. I was maybe thinking, you know, coming here today, a little bit of needle, a bit of boo and a bit of banter, you know, might sort of spice things up. I mean, do you kind of prefer it being a little bit more relaxed, or does sometimes, you know, that banter, you know, get you sort of fire going?
I don't know. I don't mind. I think it was a different sort of press conference than the one yesterday. It was obviously, I think Josh's dad stole the show with a few good one-liners, and it was fun. You know, it was a funny press conference. So I don't think I need it. You know, it doesn't matter to me. I think it's irrelevant whether there's hatred between us and we're having sly digs at each other, or it's just the way it was. I don't think it changes how the fight is gonna go. So there's no need for it, really.
I mean, you seem in a really good place actually, Carl. You know, very, very relaxed. You know, almost like a fighter really in his prime, knowing what he needs to do, not really getting fazed by anything. In terms of Jamie Moore, I mean, what's he actually doing with you then? Because I mean, in terms of, you know, is it strategy? Is it just keeping you on track? Is it keeping you focused? What type of things are you doing in the gym?
Everything really. Different approach I've had to training. Obviously, Jamie comes up with game plans for me to, you know, carry out and win the fight, and he's a very, very knowledgeable boxing coach, and people are only starting to realise that now, but he's starting to get the credit that he deserves, really. Jamie's a quality coach, but he's a friend of mine now, and he's kind of, you know, I don't know, it's just a new lease of life about me, but it's down to a few people. I think my family, my wife Christine, I think Jamie and Nigel Travis, all the boys in the gym, MTK, Frank as well. Things are just going well for me at the minute, and I'm very, very happy.
Do you think you bounce off it with Jamie? Because I know Jamie a couple of years ago, you know, similar to yourself in terms of, you know, your motivation for the game, where you were heading. I think seems to have sort of aligned for the two of you in terms of the stable that he's got and then the form that you're finding yourself in.
I think so. It's kind of just like things happen for a reason, you know, and I don't know what it is, but things just seem to be falling into place for me, and they're continuing to do that. So, you know, Jamie was talking about finishing with Tommy Coyle once he retires. He was retiring, and all of a sudden he's got 8 fighters in his gym now that he's training. I was constantly talking about retiring, and it's not even a thought in my mind now. I just want to be involved in big fights, and while I'm performing and getting big results, I'll continue to do it.
And then in terms of the atmosphere, obviously over at Windsor Park, electric atmosphere, absolutely unbelievable. Was there an element of like pressure that you felt actually fighting in that environment? I know when Tony Bellew fought at Goodison Park, you know, there was a lot of pressure obviously to deliver in front of your own people, you know, something that you've dreamed about. Yeah. Why do you think that pressure is going to differ from obviously going to Manchester and being a 50-50 split with the fans?
Well, the pressure at Windsor, it depends on the opponent a lot as well. Obviously, Windsor's a big night for me, and I've spoke about it for a number of years now, and obviously it's a big night for the city too. But I think more pressure came with the opponent, because you're expected to beat someone like Luke Jackson. It's almost like they're just saying, you know, turn up, you beat him, you win the fight. So that's when the pressure changes a bit, and it's almost like you're thinking, fuck me, what if I slip up here? You know what I mean? But it didn't. I was switched on from start to finish. I feel like I'm someone who can control pressurized situations and perform best on them, but this is going to be different. I don't think people are just expecting me to show up and beat Josh Warrington. He's a good fighter. You know, John Rawlings is saying I'm my favourite Wilburgees, but I'm not going to pay any attention to that. I'll be ready for the best ever Josh Warrington, and I'll be ready to put in the performance of my career if it takes it.
So obviously you got the KO against Luke Jackson. I think there's also a little bit of pressure obviously to do that, as you say. What do you expect obviously Josh Warrington to bring to this fight in terms of tactics to obviously, you know, break you down?
I'm not sure. You know, we've seen a different style than he's had before against Lee Selby, and I think the tactics he used against Selby were spot on. You know, his team came up with a great game plan, but it's up to him to be able to carry them out. So I'm not sure what his tactics are going to be in my fight, but against me. But it's kind of, again, that's another irrelevant point, because I believe that if he wants to come forward, if he wants to go backwards, I'll have a way of beating it, and that's as simple as.
And it seems like you've got that mindset and you're comfortable within that as well. You've almost seen everything at this point in your career.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask a final question on the pay-per-view situation. Obviously Eddie Hearn talking about another pay-per-view with Dillian Whyte on the same night. Obviously very disappointing for yourself and the fans if that does happen. What's sort of your opinion on that, and what you see sort of happening there?
Look, I don't think anyone wins here really. It's almost like I know what's going on, you know what I mean? Eddie's making it a competition between him and Frank, and obviously they're big heavyweights. This is a better fight. If you're a boxing fan, you want to watch this fight. It's going to be a better fight. It's going to be a more exciting fight. But Whyte and Chisora, you know, we're sitting here having a nice discussion. Whyte and Chisora, someone will throw a chair or a bottle or do something insane, and people like to see that element of it, and it's almost like WWE. So the only one, I don't think anyone wins in this situation. The boxers don't win and the boxing fans don't. You know, we steal some of their views on Sky, me and Warrington. They'll steal a lot of ours as well. So
it just seems like a little bit of a political game.
It's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of nonsense, a lot of shite.
And in terms of, you know, Chisora, I think it's you know, there's a good chance of him actually fighting AJ in April. So if he is going to fight AJ in April, there's no way he's going to have that fight in December. So it's like, is that actually going to happen? Is it just?
I don't think it will happen. I think it's just a bit of talk. But again, I'd prefer it not to happen, but it doesn't bother me. My fight is, or my mind is completely on this fight, and if people want to talk about other fights and watch other fights, so be it.
That's up to them. So yeah, Carl Frampton, thanks very much for talking to Fight Up TV. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.